For some, love is a strong feeling. What if you could send it in a... From point A to point B. Zero borders, zero time, zero fees. For us, love is sending crypto. Just send it. Now with SmartSend. Engineered in Switzerland by SwissBorg.
Pow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, pow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Pow wow yo yippee yay, guys. This is POW number 26 and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we're going to talk about the lovely community, but then dive into what is happening on SwissBorg ecosystem that's flourishing on a daily basis, especially with the release of new tokens, to protect and choose a new democratic way to how to empower our users, and talk about Suniverse, our wonderful Web3 character that's going to change the metaverse forever. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Check out this beautiful shirt that I bought on AliExpress. It's cool to see the evolution of value. I wouldn't say of money, I would say of value, because people always say of money, but actually, you know, from shells to gold and to land, to credit cards, to SwissBorg network, it's the value that people give and the perception that has for money that is value as well. But the whole concept here is obviously changing and understanding where is the future value and how we could co-own this all together on our beautiful voyage of crypto wealth management 3.0. News of the week. You know what? Paola, you should do it. You're great at this. So looking forward to welcome Paola, our dear principal at SwissBorg Ventures.
Hi everyone, here from sunny Dubai. Here are some market updates. I'm going to start by regulation. Many would have said that the current situation could have been completely avoided with the proper regulation in place. So here the US Treasury stepped in and they issued a crypto framework following their executive order in March. Also, the Treasury wants the US to take a leading role in the development of the central bank currencies framework, which will help the harmonization between jurisdictions and increase the AML efficiency. It is worth mentioning that while the US is progressing their crypto regulation, EU already agreed on theirs, and it is called the Markets in Crypto Assets Framework, and implementation should take place in the coming few years. Some updates on the 3AC bankruptcy. Defiance is one of their early stage, actually their only one early stage venture capital firm. It is rumored to be incubated by the 3AC, and they had also been affected by the recent bankruptcy. So the news broke out that they will be also seeking legal action against 3AC, just like other companies. Currently, there is case going on. There was the first hearing last week, and the 3AC co-founders just they showed up over Zoom, but however their cameras as well as their mic was muted and they didn't answer any questions, which sort of confirmed the rumors that they're really not collaborative with the whole investigation. Voyager, the news about Voyager broke last week. They also filed for bankruptcy shortly after they limited the withdrawals on their platform, and also they limited trading. However, they assured us that everything will be okay and they're financially stable, but as I said, the bankruptcy news broke out a little bit after. And the last one from the affected parties is Celsius, which is really doing their best to recover. They started to reduce the debt and to unlock collaterals. Advised by a restructuring team as well as Citigroup, they explored the options to preserve and protect their assets. So they started with a payment that was made to Maker Protocol of $223 million, which unlocked a $450 million in collateral. So now they started already reducing the debt on the Aave and Compound platforms. So this is all from me this week.
So market updates. Obviously, the world is red, inflation is high, and it's higher than ever, right? And I think so. This is something to really look at a macro picture. Is that, you know, for the last 20 years, we haven't seen inflation at all, Europe or either the States, going up to almost double digits, which is insane, which is really insane. Last time we saw that was like in the 70s. So this has obviously made a big hit on the economy and as well on the stocks, right? So that, which are very correlated obviously to crypto. But if people say that crypto is a scam because it lost 80%, well, tonight when you're watching Netflix, remind yourself Netflix has lost pretty much the same thing. And maybe your Tesla car as well. So where's the bottom? It's always very hard to know what's the bottom, and that's why we say dollar cost averages. Buy, accumulate whenever there's extreme fear, and when you see a massive correction that is over 20-30%, which in this case is more in the 70 to 90%, right? And there's other different ways to look at this, which is one is the Bitcoin MVRV, price to comparison. So it's the market value to realized value. And let's check out this graph a little bit bigger because it's not so easy to see. What we've seen that historically is that whenever you get into the very high range of red, you know, there's going to be usually a big fall. So whether you get to the old times high, you see you reach this panel of essentially the MVRV, which is the Z-score, which is essentially the market cap minus the realized cap, divided by the standard deviation. But let's don't get too complicated. Let's just look at these different bands. It could be like Bollinger bands in a different way. And what you see here is that whenever you get into the red, essentially, then there's the fall of the market price, right? And the same that happens whenever you get into the green. Sometimes this green is a little bit over pessimistic. You see this band, and then you see this correction that happens. And history repeats this. It doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes all the time, right? And lucky enough, we got into this band when we were already at 19K. So what does that mean? That means there's a very high chances that we have touched the bottom. However, it could still fall down a bit more and then bounce back. But I always say it's better to get in early to get in late. That's what I always say, because if you get in late, then you have regrets, where if you get in early, you're already in. So you're happy to enjoy the party. Now, if you look at the crypto index and the fear, the fear and the greed index, you definitely see that, you know, we've been into massive red, right? Which is the loss of hope. And those are always good time to make a good deal when people are essentially clueless or they're extremely afraid, especially what has happened by the fall of all the titans through our capital, Celsius, Voyager, blockchain.com having issues, Nuri having issues, Gemini having issues. So many these different great companies are rather insolvent or they're having a lot of different financial losses as we speak. But for Borgers, it's okay. We enjoy the pain. Talking now DeFi and overtakes. DeFi Tron is quite crazy. It has been winning. We saw Justin, the multi-billionaire founder of Tron, is showing resilience and showing that it was very weird that Tron didn't make a big move in DeFi at first in summer 2020. It took some time. I remember very well. I was participating a lot on Sun on different platforms, but there was not a lot of TVL. And until USDD came into place, obviously a lot of that comes, I imagine, from the foundation of Tron and his money, but as well other people believing in. And we've seen the last 7 days, 20% of more TVL, which is quite crazy. Up almost $6 billion now pledged, mainly through Sun, but as well USDD. Obviously, USDG is an algorithm stablecoin, which means that it has been depegged, it has been challenged, it has a lot of risk, and obviously has a great amount of performance. And therefore, there's some people that said, why not try it? Even if UST has fallen 2 months ago, maybe this one could continue. For the moment, we're not offering any of these yield through SwissBorg for the reason that long story short, we're not offering any risky bets. And I think so history has shown that we were extremely right about that. And let's get to the next one. Question of the week. Genesis not closed for everyone. So it is true that we've been offering Genesis to mainly employees that have been essentially hired at SwissBorg, and we had offered some Genesises to as well some few selected influencers that have just recently worked with us, because we believe that essentially, well, they're going to be bringing a lot of love through the community. And the best way to do that is to essentially offer them the best Genesis pack that we have. I know some people will be frustrated, but think about the Martini guy and all these lovely influencers that are real Borgers, have brought so much value to SwissBorg, Owen Le Hacher, and there's so many others that I'm not naming. This does change a lot. I think so. 25% of the users are having brought by influencer, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a lot of green hearts. That's a lot of different premiums that comes through them. And that's for the reason why. And for employees, well, they're building the whole thing, so if they're not getting at least the touch of the Genesis, it wouldn't make sense. That's the reason why. Thanks, Julio, for the question. I hope this answers your question. Community Sentinel of the week. It's a little bit fudding. Don't FUD, guys. So the circuiting supply will be eventually updated. It's true that token teams that have never been sold could be taken into consideration for this. That's a great question, Ken. The second one for SwissBorg Venture, Julio, another great question. It is true that they're still not a real. We want obviously people to participate to the SwissBorg Venture deals. We still haven't found the right legal format and the right technical format as product to do though. So there's no category per se. We've been offering this to different Borgers, but the list is quite minimum for the time being. And the deal flows are we are very selective. The last one is Sweatcoin, which is going right now. We believe this is going to be a great one. And the last Sway. Come on, guys. We're doing multiple languages, and the reason is that not everyone speaks every language. If you don't get some content translated, listen to the powwow. You get at least a lot of it. And if it's not, it's fine. Just ask your other friends who speak those languages to translate for you. I think it's already good we're doing this in multiple languages. But thank you, nevertheless. Sway. Community members of the week, Gritzy, Andreas, and Oliver, and... Merci Filet? No. Merci Filet. Dankre. That's how bad I am. For being super cool about organizing this really cool SwissBorg Zurich event. Let's have more of these barbecues and beers and ways that we could talk and build together. So please follow these lovely gentlemen, and thank you so much for the love and the dedication that you guys have. Product update, and I want to go to the Protect and Choose and results. Super exciting to see that 59% of the Protect and Choose pool will be burnt. So you wanted really to burn it down. So that's been a lot of tokens, and we're still over 10,000 votes on that, which is great. The other thing is that the unburned 2,350,000 tokens will actually go to loyal CHSB yodelers. So you see, guys, there's the burn that's cool, but then there's a yodeling that is very well. So people that have been holding more than 1,000 CHSB, the yield program for over a year with no redemptions, no withdrawals, and no selling will actually receive 356 CHSB, which I think so is a great number. So 6,600 yodelers are going to be we're going to be rewarded for this. I think so. This is definitely something that is really, really interesting to see. If you look at the premium tiers right now, the average burn percentage was quite actually regular, which is quite interesting to see. It was pretty much 60%. So overall, if you are Genesis or you're standard, the voting, to be honest, was actually the same thing. So you guys are very much aligned, which I think so is very, very interesting to see. And yeah, that shows that we're all on the same page here, which is really good. The percentage then of people that voted, I think so in general was quite well representative of all the different premium tiers. So very democratic, and at the end there's a reward for this, which I think so this is a very good initiative. Congratulations to yourself. Congratulations for everyone that believed in how we could democratically reward and choose the right people, and as well obviously burn. Product update, very, very excited times, guys. I think Atom is really one of the great use of blockchain, how to connect multiple different blockchains all together. The community behind are great developers, great people from the DAO over there. It's one really, the interconnectivity of chains is really one of the smartest one to play, because it's essentially what we're doing as well at SwissBorg. So big believers in Atom, and I hope that we'll get the yield on this, because there's some juicy staking yield that go with this. So let's hope for that. Events update tomorrow night at Montreux. We're going to have a little fun thing going on. If you want to come, please join us. We'll be doing this at the Montreux Jazz Festival. Besides that, we'll have a smart cafe in Spanish on Tuesday, July 12th. That's tonight, actually. We will have Wednesday, tomorrow, something in Fribourg happening, local meeting in Fribourg, which is going to be cool with CryptoPhil. So that's going to be really interesting. Congrats to CryptoPhil for this. We'll have as well SwissBorg LM in Geneva. So we'll have local meeting in Geneva, which is really cool on the 15th. And I think trying to figure out if we could have like a big barbecue here in Lausanne, hopefully by the end of the summer. Quick update as well on the product. We're really trying to improve the operations tracks. So really focusing on the areas of expertise of compliance, efficiency, UX, and scalability. With that, we have to make sure that we're compliant, obviously, that the regulators are happy with our processes. But not more than that is that, right now there's been so much that has been done, and a lot of it being done manually. So the idea is, how can we handle and get better at being more efficient, right? How can we really make sure that our users go from their KYC in a smoother place, how they onboard in an easier way, and how do you get, answered in a better way to your tickets, so you actually find your own your own issue to your problem and solve it in the best way. So these are really what we're trying to do, and work hard in order to prepare for the next bull market, because we know we're going to have these crazy days of 10,000, 20,000 people, onboarding, and all this activity of going from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and ticketing and losing and their mobile and their numbers and this and that. So we're really making sure to work on this. We have a very big team here that's working on this scope. So this is very, very exciting for once. And, we really want to make sure that we're at the highest, most efficient, scalable way to be compliant, but mainly, most important, to offer you the best Conciergerie 3.0 service. So if you have any ideas how we could improve this, by the way, just comment here in this video and we'll be looking into it. Now I'm a little dark side of the referrals. Referrals has been probably one of the greatest things at SwissBorg, is how you're bringing people. And by the way, refer any of your friends, please, or anyone. Just bump in the street, just walk to someone and say, like, do you know what lost 90% recently? CHSB, Ethereum, and many other tokens. Do you know what that means? To go back to all-time high, it needs to do 10x. That's 10 times that's 10 times almost, okay? Or 7 times maybe, right? And 7 times, that is a huge amount of performance. That is crazy. That means if you put $10,000 today to the next all-time high, that now is 70,000 euros or dollars or francs, everything that's at one right today. So that is a huge amount of performance. That is obviously you can never say if this is going to happen or not. But if you believe in the faith, if you believe in these projects, you believe decentralization is important, if you believe in DeFi and blockchain and crypto, well then, there is a chance that you have a great experience with that. Nevertheless, there's been some fraudsters, and we have been, unfortunately, had to tackle this in a quite serious way, where we had actually lost some funds from different referrals that essentially people just referring people that were just leaving the app and leaving the app and leaving the app, you know, like putting in 50 euros, then going with whatever crypto, right? Getting the referral, transferring this into XRP and then going. So people will be able to like, you know, get the referral out of it. Long story short, we did block some countries for this. In France and in Switzerland, I think we had almost no cases. But in other countries we did. But long story short, the love is there and the bad people have been kicked out. Weekly CHSB in data, doing quite well still. We're having more premiums, which is great. Which gives us more CHSB stake, which is a great, healthy sign. A little bit more than 600 people that have added the CHSB into the app, which is good. But nevertheless, we're definitely not in a bull market. Which brings us to the community endeavor. Not good at all, guys. Unfortunately, a little bit lower than last week. CHSB, the volume has grown a little bit, which is great. The CHSB, unfortunately, not too much. The activity in the app is really the one suffering. We're really losing a lot of momentum here with the summer and obviously the crypto market going to a winter, summer, which is a paradox, right? Social media, guys, wake up. CHSB holders have grown. Invitations, not that much, though Smart Send is on, guys. The competition is on, so go for it.
How far have we come? How much value has been created? It's immense. It's absolutely immense. We could create trillions of value around the world. All 8 billion people have a way to interact with the world in a more equal way, with equal on-ramps that aren't controlled by the platforms, aren't controlled by the governments, and give people as much power as possible. So take your shot.
Very interesting one with Bruce Pond tomorrow night. It's going to be really about how they're changing the game and the blockchain level, and you could earn one of these cool NFTs for that. So tomorrow night it's crypto night. And special for the end, guys, Suniverse. Suniverse, as you guys know, has been really one of the mascots that graduated from the community app to crypto challenge, and then due to the evil forces of the Federation, but as well the evil forces of centralization, crypto challenge died. But Suni didn't. And Suni will be the president of the blockchain foundation of the metaverse and the Web3, making sure that the values of decentralization manifests in these beautiful stories. Without further ado, I'll introduce the product owner of this, Valentin, that will talk about. Please explain us what's it all about.
Thank you, Cyrus, and hello, SwissBorg community. I'm really happy to be here today and share with you the last news about the Suniverse. We have been working so hard the last few weeks to offer you a best-in-class product. So without any further ado, let's start with our first news. As you may have seen, the first episode of the Suniverse is finally live. I hope you will like it as much as we do. You can read it for free on the Webtoon platform, and if you wish to read it now, you can do it using the link on the description below. For those of you who are not familiar with the project, let me give you a quick overview. First, Suniverse is an amazing comic book. You can follow the journey of Suni, the hero, into the metaverse. We are going to publish an episode every Monday, and over time, we are going to introduce NFT characters from the space directly into the story. Our goal is to make it interactive, so make sure to join the community on Discord. And finally, we want to go further by adding merchandising and building a platform. Stay tuned. Now, I still have a lot of news for you. Let's see the second. I'm really happy to announce the launch of our new website. So make sure to check it out to know everything about our projects. And finally, the last surprise. To celebrate all of this good news, we are offering this one-of-one poster. If you get it, you will be able to redeem the physical version made by our friends at Solid NFT. The auction will start on Friday at noon CEST on OpenSea. And that's it, guys. I'm really proud of the team and the work we have done so far. If you like the project, make sure to join us so you don't miss anything important. Back to you, Cyrus. Cheers.
Guys, As you guys know, during winter times, you need to wear a lot of layers. You need to train. You need to work out. You need to eat a lot of food in order to go through this, this mist of cold. But at the same time, actually, I love the cold. I take cold showers every day. And I enjoy it as the most as possible. Maybe that's a good way. Why not? We should do that. In order to fight the crypto winter, take a cold shower every day and you get used to it. Maybe that's a good way to, maybe that's it actually. I don't know. Maybe it's just a lot of different things, or just the use of having like bad energy coming to you and try to fuel it into good karma, right? Nevertheless, I think so. It's a great time for us to take part in what is the future of wealth. I think there's a lot of things happening in the roadmap as we speak. There's a lost a little bit of concern, but one thing again, we have to remind ourselves, we just went through the biggest crisis of crypto. This one was people will tell you with time, it was the hardest one. We never seen multi-billion-dollar companies just vanishing. It's very, very rare. Like we saw Bear Stearns in 2007. We saw different ones that did this, but this is actually quite a crazy melting of crypto. But out of the melt, there's still gold that drips down, and that gold you put it into crypto and you make great things out of it. And I think so this is definitely a very interesting moment. Thanks to Suni, I think so SwissBorg, and obviously the thematics to Earn 2.0 and so many other things with Seaborgs and others that will really fuel this next chapter of SwissBorg. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I'm doing right now. As always, guys, be healthy, be wealthy, and love our CHSB. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you zero fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.
For some, love is a strong feeling. What if you could send it in a... From point A to point B. Zero borders, zero time, zero fees. For us, love is sending crypto. Just send it. Now with Smart Send. Engineered in Switzerland by SwissBorg.